Y'all know that I had no clue who I was interviewing tonight. So now you know. Now you know. And you probably have no idea who this is. This is a new guy to the scene. But y'all come on in. Come on in. Say hello. We're going to send out all the announcements we have to send out, let people know what's going on. And we'll get the show started here shortly. Y'all know here at the beginning, we got about 5 minutes where we check the tech. We make sure you can hear us. We make sure we can see your texts and everything coming to and fro from us. I see me and Vito stepping into the room. There you go. Awesome. So we know that's working. And I'm sending out an announcement on the Discord. And just to let everybody know that we are live. Let's see. At everyone. I know y'all love these everyone messages. We are live. Doop. All right. So come on in, guys. We'll get this started. And remember, I have one rule, and I'll say this a couple of times as we go. Yeah, I have one rule. I don't mind if you lurk. Lurking is okay, but at least say hello before you come in the room and go sit in the corner. Rick, how are you doing? Good to see you, Rick D. Thank you for dropping in. Send an invite out to everybody. Let's let everybody know what's going on. Let everybody know the show is starting. I know it's been a really weird month for a lot of people. So how's the snow up your way, man?
I'll tell you, it's finally tapered off, but it is cold.
I bet.
I mean, it is just brutally cold. I mean, I guess the whole country's getting this, but we had that, I don't know, it was like 2.5 feet of snow like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we hit 10 inches.
Then, 10? Yeah, right? It's crazy, especially for you guys.
Well, and we were sub 10 degrees like for a week and a half. It's never like that down here.
Yeah, and same here. It's I mean, heck, this weekend it's still supposed to be like -8 still at night. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
That
and
is crazy.
Going outside, it's just like, oh my God, it's crazy.
But that is.
Thankfully there's no real snow in the forecast, but heck, I think I'd rather have snow because it's usually not that cold when it snows.
Right. Well, we got Rick in the room. He's like, it's going to be -30 here. Whatever. -30.
Maybe you're probably in Canada. It's supposed to be that.
It's always -30 in Canada, isn't it? Rick, I do not want to be you. I don't want to be in -30. That would not be my thing.
Did you see it snowed? It snowed in Florida too.
I did. They had a few flurries in Mississippi where my family lives as well. So it was oh, Connecticut. There you know. That's okay too. It's supposed to be cold in Connecticut as well.
Yeah. I don't know where he's getting -30 though.
It probably feels like it's probably the wind chill. What's up, Printcraft Finds? How are you doing? Good to see you. Everybody come on in. We're just kind of doing the little test session here. Hey, Steffi makes 3D. Good to see you. Hey. Wind chill. Okay, I knew it was wind chill. See, they're cheating nowadays. Here's the big cheat, and you may notice this. Back when I was a young whippersnapper, we had this thing called actual temperature. We didn't base our records on feels like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Right. Because it feels cold. It'd be 3 with a wind chill of negative. When is that supposed to be? Wind chill of -30.
50 mile an hour. Oh, is this that snow-a-cane or whatever they're talking about that's coming around back through, like it went out into the ocean and came back or something? I've never heard of a snow-a-cane in my life. I don't. You know,
they got names for everything now.
Coming up with all these terms, we got bomb storms and Ninos and Pinos and whatever, all these different things.
It is crazy.
That's funny. But come on in, guys. All right, so y'all know what we do here. Y'all know this live. This is our live on Thursday night, Asylum Live. We do this every week where we interview content creators and makers that we enjoy watching. Now, this month, we're doing something a little bit different. And part of this is I wanted to introduce new people who have been 3D printing for a short while or who have been doing some type of make thing within the makerspace for less than a year, around about a year, right? So that's what's starting to happen. So some of the faces this week you will not recognize, but I want you to come back and meet these people because there's some interesting stories. And I think there's also going to be some reminders of what it was like when we started. You know, we are here, we love learning the stories of people's lives, and we like finding the connections, the things that we have in common. And I think we can learn a lot about that. So here's the important thing, guys. Remember, we do these interviews for 3 reasons. The first reason, and y'all never get this right, so I'm not going to let y'all type it in the peanut gallery. Y'all never get it right anyway. The first reason we do these interviews is we want to meet cool people. So we got this guy. They call him Vito, but his name is not Vito. His name is, let me do this. His name is Gabe, guys. Vito's his dog. But anyway, we're meeting cool people. We might get to meet Vito tonight if Vito runs around, but he might be like in another room where he can't approach. So we want to meet cool people. Number 2, we want to get to know the makers and creators that we enjoy watching. And number 3, we want to expose them to a new audience. And that's where you guys come in. I can't share this out. I'm here. I'm like switching screens and doing all the stuff and watching your chats, and I ain't got time to do that. You have to share this out. So make sure you let people know the show is going on. Send out those invites, send out those links, shoot out an email, tell your Discord, whatever means you have, let people know this is happening and get them over here just so we can sit here and have a good conversation with Gabe. Because y'all know, I think we can learn one thing from every person that we meet. And I think tonight is going to be a good lesson. So, man, so cold, snow, you're like East Coast, like kind of what area are you in where we can kind of gauge how cold you are?
Well, I'm about an hour and a half north of New York City. And I would say probably the same hour and a half south of Albany.
Are you in Poughkeepsie? Oh, okay. So not Poughkeepsie.
Yeah,
Poughkeepsie. Yeah, I know Poughkeepsie. I love that bridge, the walking bridge. That's
that's 10 minutes away. Okay. I live in like. Do you ever hear New Paltz?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm between them. I live in Plattekill.
Okay. I don't know Plattekill specifically, but I kind of know where you're at. So yeah.
Oh, you know Poughkeepsie?
I know Poughkeepsie very well. I spent some time up there.
Okay.
I was working with an organization. We were helping some people up there, some local community service groups up there, and so we would go up and spend a couple of weeks every now and then. And interesting little town. Interesting. First place I ever ate at Uno's. I'll say it that way.
Okay. And it's still there, actually.
Is it there? That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's still there. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know exactly the one you're talking about too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting little town. It really, really is. And
it's full of colleges. It's Poughkeepsie's got like, and probably like 2 or 3 of the most prominent colleges, around between Vassar and Marist over there.
Okay.
Some famous people went to school right over there. Yeah. So for a small town, yeah.
That is cool. Well, now, so what's your normie job? Let's talk about your everyday job. What do you do?
So I actually fix boat propellers for a living. I own a pretty much a welding machine shop, and I've been doing. It's called Precision Propeller.
Okay.
On TikTok also, and I've been doing that for about, I think, 23 years now.
Okay.
That's my main gig. As you can see on my logo, it's a little propeller guy.
Okay, I got you. I understand that. I couldn't decide if that was a flower or what that was.
Yeah, no, it's a propeller.
Okay, so it's more of a fabrication shop geared towards propellers, is what we're talking about, that type of thing, or
so basically we're located in Newburgh, like an hour and a half north of the city, and we have like about a 200-mile radius around us. So we actually go right up to the border of Canada in some places, and we go out east and west, several hours. And we have drivers that go out and go to marinas, because we're mainly pick up delivery of marinas, and we bring them back to our shop. We repair them, and they're all just broken propellers, just beat up props. And it's really it's a welding, grinding, like I said, we pick up chicken poop and make it into chicken soup.
There you go. There you go. I like that. I like that.
And that's the living. That's what we do every day.
What is the craziest thing you've seen that has like destroyed a propeller? Like, do you have any like a crazy story? Like you looked at it and went, "What the heck?"
Yeah, it's let's see. The first one was a floating refrigerator,
Oh my
which
gosh!
yeah, it's a in the springtime, in this because right now everything is frozen like that.
Right.
So now in the springtime, all that garbage, all that stuff with those rains brings it right down in.
Okay.
So listen, I've seen stuff, propellers, floating carcasses like deer, dead animals, really
Yeah.
wrecked stuff. The best part is right over. I don't know if you know where Kingston and Saugerties is. If you heard there, it's just north of Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, I think so.
And there's a giant sandbar.
Okay.
Like you got to hang a right. You got to go right. And some people just go straight, and they're on YouTube channels, and they
they're
they
on
don't
YouTube. I like
they
that.
don't let them they don't let them regret that.
Yeah, and they made it to YouTube.
Yeah, so it's all kinds of stuff, but a lot of them are just floating weird stuff. And I think probably the weirdest one is just those refrigerators and stuff, which I have no idea where they came from, but
that is interesting. That is interesting. It makes you wonder what was in the refrigerator when they threw it away. Anyway, all right. So, guys, we are here tonight. We are talking with our new friend, Gabe, and that is Gabe and Vito is where you'll find him on the TikTok. Do you have other socials, or is it just TikTok?
For my 3D stuff, it's I'd say so. I have a Wonderland Maker Studio on Facebook. That's kind of where I kind of house my 3D stuff.
Okay.
But TikTok and Facebook really.
Okay.
Awesome. And the Gabe and Vito is when I started my TikTok account. It was just me and my dog.
Okay.
And then it just kind of then I just kind of left it there. Now everybody thinks I'm Vito, but I'm really Gabe.
I know, right? Vito's a good name, though. It makes me feel, it's a Goomba name, right?
Yeah. And my dog is like a Goomba. Okay. He's not here. He's at my mother's house, but he's a little Frenchy, and he is a Goomba all the way through and through. So the name fits him perfect.
That's great. That is great. Well, guys, get your questions in the room. Vito is the man. We got the laboratory. All right. That's awesome. We got people coming in that know you. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And so, yeah, I just learned, honestly, guys, this is the first time Vito and I met an hour ago. Right. We met an hour ago. Steffi introduced us. Steffi knew I was looking for some people, and she's like, "Oh, I got a guy." And, it's always when somebody says, "I got a guy," it's always a New Yorker for some reason.
That's where you go when you need a guy.
It's those two phrases. I got a guy, or hey, I'm walking here. That's always New Yorkers right there. But so boat propeller, let's get to some basic questions. We won't dig any deeper into that. But what are you drinking? I always like to ask people what they like to drink. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm a Coke Zero or a Pepsi Zero all the time.
Coke Zero, Pepsi Zero.
Yeah.
We have problems getting Coke Zero around here. Like it disappears off the shelves. It's crazy. It is crazy.
What about Pepsi Zero?
I'm not a Pepsi fan.
No?
Like I grew up with grandma. She was a Pepsi person. I was just never the Pepsi person. I'm like a Coke guy all the way for some reason, unless it comes to coffee. And then I got coffee. And y'all see, I'm sporting my new mug tonight, guys. 3D Everything sent that to me. That's from his UV printer, from that Eufy Make printer we're all wanting to get in right there.
By the way, I want to tell you, there's a gentleman on here. His name is Ken. He just kind of went through. Okay. We're going to talk about Ken later because Ken's a huge part of this whole story of mine.
Okay.
So, yeah. Awesome. I'm glad he's on.
Good to see you, Ken. Thank you for coming in. Everybody, thank you for coming in. I'm excited to see everybody here tonight. I'm excited to have this conversation. I keep wanting to call him Vito because everybody calls him Vito, with Gabe here, just to kind of get to know who he is. So if you have questions, put them in the peanut gallery. If you're new to the show, the peanut gallery is just a chat room. I like to call it something else besides the chat room. That's all. We like to make things as complicated as possible around here. Does everybody hear us well? Everything sound good? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Tell me what we need to adjust. I think we sound pretty good. Yes, Nate, we will get to the ice cream. I promise. We will get to the ice cream. All right. Awesome. Good. We got some thumbs up and everything going. But so let's start with ice cream. Let's start. What is your favorite ice cream?
I know this is going to sound cliche, but it's the cookie dough ice cream.
Okay, there, I'm right there too. Chocolate chip cookie dough, right there.
Oh yeah, cookie dough all the time. Yeah, just
Now,
that with and a good that with a good old fat. I do love if it's hard ice cream is that, but soft it's always twist, and I go for the soft all the time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you preferred going like? Do you buy the gallons and bring them home? Do you prefer going to the ice cream shop? What's kind of your?
So I have to admit, I'm not really an ice cream guy, but it's a great place to take a date. And so when we go there, I usually get some kind of twist ice cream.
Okay, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That works.
I know it's I know I kind of maybe disappointed some of your fans out there with the ice cream, but
well, the person last week said they didn't even like ice cream. So you know you're good. You have not been the worst offender so far. Apple pie guy. Okay, we'll see. We got some other people talking about other things in there. So we got the ice cream. Now 3D printing. How long have you been 3D printing?
Probably just right about a year. Right, okay. Right about a year.
And what was your first 3D printer?
Well, the first 3D printer I bought was what is it? The Ender that you get on Amazon for $189. Okay.
So yeah,
it just turns into a clothes hanger really fast.
So yeah, so we were talking a little bit earlier about the Ender. So the Ender is kind of that starting machine that a lot of people suggested in the early days, right? And it's one of those. If you're a tinkerer, you're gonna love that machine. If you don't like tinkering and you just want a printer to work, clothes hanger. Right.
Oh, God, I don't even know how people, I mean, I know there's, I just don't know. Like it's crazy. That and the Entina, the Entina brand. Did you ever hear that?
Entina brand?
Yeah.
Guys,
Entina.
Enlighten me, guys.
It's probably about this big. It's like a square box with a hole, and it's got a plate about this big. TikTok used to push it really hard. It's Entina. That was I think that was maybe the second one I bought. And again, it was just
I have never. Okay, this is like the toy box printer. People who know that, yeah, they make the tiny printer. Okay, so this is the same people doing the tiny printer. Okay, I'm with you guys.
Terrible machine.
Okay. Well, there was a time where everybody loved the things like toy boxes and and all of that stuff. So yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense. No wonder I don't know about it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is it's the great part is I joined like the Entina group on Facebook, and when I tell you, it was impossible to make more than one thing on there without just like this. And you go on there, and I swear there were people that worked for Entina on there that were just like, no, it's okay, you know, and they're supposed to be. It's just like, how are you getting this to work? And I'm not.
Right.
But so they would really kind of encourage you to say, you know, they wanted to say, no, it's a great brand. It's a great brand. And I'm like,
I got.
But it was just as bad as that the other machine.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
So this doesn't even have a slicer. This is just a phone app, right? Just the phone. You didn't use your computer for it or anything.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically, I didn't even get past the ones that are preloaded on the SD card.
So what was the issue? And this is one of the reasons I want to talk to new 3D printers this month, because I think so many of us, especially these guys, if you knew the Entina guys, y'all are the people I'm talking about. You know, we forget what it was like to be a new 3D printer. I forget, you know, my Creality, or sorry, was it my Ender 5 Plus? I tried 6 months to print PETG because I didn't know you were supposed to start with PLA, and it was a miserable printer, and I ended up selling it, right? We forget those times. And so, like, with the Ender, talk to me about some of the stuff, just your experience, and no matter happy or miserable, you were kind of working with somebody on this. It wasn't just you that was using this printer, right?
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna at some point chime into Ken, right? Because so what happened was originally I was dating this girl, and she had a son that was getting ready to go to college, but he didn't quite know what he wanted to do. So long and the short is I said, hey, what about a 3D printer? But I didn't know anything about it at the time. And so I ended up buying, so he said, yeah. And so I ended up buying one off of Amazon, which was that Ender. And, you know, I'm going to say this, it's like, I don't know, like, I'm not, when it came, it was just like, we had no idea how to use it.
Right.
It was just like blank. And so, you know, we went to YouTube, and they were, 15, 16-year-old kids, and they're, everything is YouTube, how to fix stuff, how to do stuff. But I'll tell you, like, that whole self-leveling is just like, it was just like ridiculous. Like, you didn't know about filament. You didn't know about, getting the plate to level, and then trying to stick that piece of paper inside there to, and so
Right.
like, it's like, and then you got to figure out what's X, Y, and Z. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you mix the X and the Y and the Z. And so it just, I was no different than them. It just got discouraging so fast. It's like, it's like you lose interest
Right.
really fast. But then it's like golf, right? You hit every single one of them wrong, and then all of a sudden this thing actually prints, and it's just like, oh, right? And so it keeps you in the game. So you hit one good thing, and it keeps you back in the game. Meanwhile, my best friend Ken, who was on here, who he and I met, he and I are like best friends. We met from 3D printing.
Okay.
He tells me about, he's there, buying these used, I don't even know what they call these printers, and he fixes them. And that's how he started, by just, and the words that he's telling me that they are, I'm like, I don't know anything besides bamboo. I'm one of those bamboo fanboys.
Gotcha.
I'm exactly what people, some of the real 3D guys just kind of cringe about.
Right.
Because I think bamboo is just, they're the ones that really are just killing it out here. But that Ender, if I didn't switch to a bamboo, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, I get that. And we talk about that in the 3D printing community when it comes to, if you look at like some of the things that different creators are doing, like Wolf and some of the different creators hanging out, they're doing like these Iron Man prints or Iron prints. And
I'm one of his, I was one of his first, I was probably one of his first subs or whatever when he first came out.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. He's great.
And so we want to make sure that people who are coming in have those early successes, right? And you've got the bamboos. I'm sure your friend knows the words like Tronxy and Prusa and those types of words for printers and things that he was repairing. But really trying to get those, because one of my biggest frustrations that I always remember, I bought a Prusa first. Prusa was my first printer. And Prusas are good machines. I'm a Prusa fanboy. I like bamboos. I understand the need for bamboos and how awesome they are, and everybody loving them. I totally get it. But I come from more of the tinkerer side versus the, it just needs to work side. And, bamboo is kind of the microwave, right? And I don't really have a microwave comparison for, it's a car that's sitting underneath a tree, and my Prusa is, and I'm going to work on it. But,
it's an old lawnmower. You got to fix it every time you go to use it.
And so we forget about that. We forget about those things. And then, so you're saying you jumped into bamboo. How quickly after you got your Ender, like, so you say a year ago, and so we're talking, this same time, January, February of 2025. So the bamboo had been around for a while. So how many months was it from you buying the Ender? I assume you had a Ender V3 is probably what you had. And then you buy your bamboo. What was the timeline there?
I don't know, 3 weeks.
3. Okay.
if that.
Okay.
Because listen, it's like I'm not that guy you're talking about. I'm not Ken. I'm not the tinkerer.
Right.
Like do I want things just to open up and work? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, that was like beyond trying to figure it out. Like, it was a different level for me. And I have 2 15-year-old kids too.
Right.
That were just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it quickly, in order for it to work, what I was trying to get across, like, I just needed to buy something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can only mess around with something for so long, and it's just like, and then next thing you know, they're just not interested in it anymore. And then it just, and then it just, that's gone. It's, and so it took probably less than 3 weeks before I just bought that bamboo.
Okay. No,
it was like,
I totally get that. Now, where did you buy your bamboo? Here's the. Was this another Amazon purchase, or were you like a Micro Center guy? Where did you go get it? Where did you buy it?
I'm gonna say I bought it right from Bamboo, because at the time I didn't know anything about Micro Center, and there's still not even one that's less than like an hour and a half from where I am, and Best Buy hadn't come out with them yet. So, and Amazon, I don't believe. I think I'm pretty sure I bought it right from the factory,
Okay.
right from Bamboo.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got it in like, I don't know, like 3 days. It was like pretty fast at the time.
They are pretty fast. Now, how many printers do you have now?
So now I think I had 16 at the time. I think now I have probably like 10.
Okay, wait. So you said you had 16 at the time. Like, how quickly did you have 16 printers, and what was the purpose behind having 16 printers?
So when I talked to you about those two kids, those two boys, so I was dating that girl, and so I bought them that printer, and then when that bamboo really worked out, like instantly worked out, like instantly, it was just like, okay, here we go. And I have this thing. So I do a lot of stuff with kids. I own an obstacle course too, and it's predominantly for kids. And I'll tell you that all this 3D stuff that reflects upon them is a completely other subject. But so what happened was I bought them that one, and it worked out perfectly. And then about 2 or 3, I don't know, I'd say 2 weeks later, I bought another one, the mini, to replace that ender that was sitting in the basement.
Gotcha.
And so, but me and my girlfriend broke up before I could bring it down there. So it sat in that corner over there for a long time.
Right.
And so, I got to say, the one thing about these, especially the bamboo printers, as we had spoken earlier, I donate a lot of printers. I've donated several printers to homeschool communities here. Awesome. Where they can make stuff and then share, make stuff and share it within their community, because they don't have the same resources that a regular school does.
Right.
So, and the reason why I can do that with the bamboo is because it's an instant, it works so well right out of the box. So that same thing to some of the families that I donate to, it becomes an instant bond between them. Like right. And that's what I had with my girl and her kids. Like we used to, it was like old school Monopoly days where you kind of get the board out and you play a game together.
Right.
So, and we used to do that. Like, even though the prints took a little bit of time, it was that excitement to see it, you're watching something grow right there. And it was and she was actually a special ed teacher, and we would make these little, the fidgets and stuff like that. And she used to bring them to school, and the kids would go crazy for it. It was such a motivational thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So so her and we broke up, and I loved this girl. I really did. And so like really, and I took the breakup extremely hard. And so that one printer that had sit over there, time had gone by, and I just opened it up because I couldn't return it. And so, I opened it up, and I just started making things for her.
Yeah.
It was Valentine's Day. I mean, if you look at my TikTok and you go back, some of the first ones were, me, making stuff for her. First thing I did was my first thing was something for my mother. It's a nativity scene I made. And, she was like, oh my God. And then after that, I just made stuff for my girl, because that was the one thing that was that one connection that I had with her and her kids. Cause, it was a hard time. And so, then I don't know how to say this, but like, I just went out and bought another one and another one. And it was really just, I mean, at one time I bought like 4 of them at a time from Bamboo, just like, but it was an emotional thing. It was like an alcoholic, and, it's like, it was like my alcohol. And it's just like, that was my connection to her.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a time I had boxes of stuff for her, like, just because I missed her so much. And
Yeah.
like, I missed her kids. I missed that whole thing. It was,
Yeah.
it's like really hard. And that 3D thing was, that was, you know, that was that. And that's how I met Ken. Cause, you know, I'd gone on one of these forums and asked somebody for help, and Ken, you know, then I get like, you know, when you ask for help on those things, you get a million people to answer.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got Ken, but you know, he was, you know, he and I connected, and he helped me with some stuff. And I'll tell you what, like, I don't know where I would be without him. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we talk about, I mean, you want to talk about, you know, whatever, but I don't know how many people have relationships with other people from this, but I mean, him and I are like best friends. We talk every day, like every single day. And, you know, it's like, it's an incredible relationship we have. And I think I've helped him as much as he's helped me, just from getting to know each other. But, it's incredible what 3D printing actually did, other than, you know, besides the metals and all that other stuff. But, you know, we make some great stuff together, and the impact that it has around. But really, those 16 printers just, they kept accumulating, because it was just my crutch to try to get through, you know,
Yeah.
a relationship that
and I
was
get
just
that. And you always have that choice when a relationship ends, right? You have a choice to, like, if a hobby or something connects you, you have a choice to dig into it, or you have a choice to run away from it and just, you know, and so you just chose to dig in.
Yeah. And, you know, it was, and I'm going to tell you this, like, you know, I started dating this, you know, just so, like a year had gone by, like, and still just only recently, and Ken can attribute to it, you know, that my one spare bedroom had, you know, and plus my shop, I had like 3 of them at my shop. And,
That's great.
and then I had, you know, 3D stuff all around my house. And this one girl came to my house. She goes, you know, of course you're not going to get over her. She's all over here.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, you know, it doesn't matter if it's for, a race, or if it's for, the guy down the road. It's just, it's all over here.
Yeah.
So I told Ken, I remember telling him, you know, probably not that, you know, probably, I don't know, some time ago, I'm like, you know, I think I'm going to really back out, you know, cause I think I need, you know, but then you know, cause I needed to kind of fix myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, cause I wanted to make sure I was doing all this for the right reasons. And, you know, and kind of be able to kind of move forward, and that whoever comes next isn't hampered by my, you know, by my baggage, so to speak.
Yeah.
But then I made these medals. Me and Ken do these teddy bear race medals. And there was an event where there was two boys that were, they didn't have legs, amputees, double amputees, and they didn't have fingers, and they were doing an obstacle course race at Spartan, and we had done the teddy bear medals for them, which is, I can explain that. And so the heads of Spartan, it happened so fast, the heads of Spartan saw these kids come, and they weren't expecting them. And they saw them doing the you know, the kids course, and they called down to the field immediately, because we had done the teddy bear stuff. It gets done at 7:00 in the morning. And so we were already there. And the kids, this is probably about 2:00 in the afternoon, but they called down there right away, and they said, go get some of that teddy bear stuff and bring it to those kids. Right.
That's great. Yeah.
Because what kids, yeah, medals. But I'm going to tell you, I have a picture with that kid holding that medal that me and Ken made.
Yeah.
I mean, that still gets me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's when it was just like, yeah, okay, right. Okay. Right. That kid will never, ever forget that. He'll never, because you can give a kid a medal, but you give him a 3D, something 3D, it's got a teddy bear or a dragon. I mean, that doesn't, I mean, we donated, you know, there's another thing we did, donate a dragon. Me and the bunch of community people, we donated 400 3D printed dragons to the kids hospital down here.
Yeah.
We did that whole thing together like months ago. That's how I met a lot of these guys. That's awesome. Look, that Get to Print, Brennan, he sent me these giant dragons, and the guy from shit, Ken sent me like 100 dragons, and yeah. So
That's
then,
awesome.
it's like you realize, like, it's like, it's like, you know, the impact that we've made, me and my group made with kids. Like, I mean, I think we've changed a lot of their lives just from either the 3D print or my obstacle course and everything that surrounds it. And when I had that moment with that kid, seeing that picture with him, with that medal, and he was smiling at that medal, like he was proud of that medal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that medal was made, between me and Ken. Like, it's like, yeah, we made that medal. That kid's, it's like that kid's got 100 times. Well, he doesn't know that his life is so hard because that's how he's been the whole time.
Right.
But, it was like, so that was really a game changer where I kind of reflected back and said, and that's why I started kind of saying, okay, so I'm going to do this a little differently. And I gave away, or I donated a few of my printers, and Ken was the first recipient of a bunch of them. I think Ken's got more of my more of my printers, but I love Ken. I do anything for. He's he's just a great dude, and
that's awesome.
And so yeah, so there's a lot of good things that came. So I don't have 16 anymore, and I have a brand new Cobra Max.
Cobra Max, okay. The Cobra 3 Max.
Yeah, I don't even want to turn it on. I've had it for like 4 months. It's still sitting there. I'm afraid. Well, I hear his horror stories. I'm like,
no. And hey, and we have people sitting in this room right now who can help you with that if you do have issues. The Cobra 3 Max seems to be a very, very good machine overall, majority wise. There are some that get some lemons and stuff. 100%. Yeah. But give me just a second. I'm going to take care of a little bit of business work. I'm going to drop you down just a second. But there are so many people in this room with that story, and I want to talk about that for just a minute. But guys, we hear this story time and time again, don't we? Where people come into the community, they become a part of TikTok, they become a part of the Discords, and they get to make some amazing friends. I've got amazing friends in this room right now, and that's why I want to kind of stop right now and just continue to encourage y'all, be a part of the TikToks, be a part of the places where you can find content creators and everything. And a great place to do that is in Discord. And we have a Discord here at Asylum Life. Our Discord is connected to many other maker Discords where we get together. There are people in this room right now. I'm talking to you, Nate, Michael, and Alex, where we sit in voice chat rooms for hours and hours a day. I never thought that there would be people that I talk to all the time like that. But I just want to encourage you to be a part of this community, because the giving, because the helping, all of those things are such a common story within the 3D printing area. And as we grow as a maker community, I hope that we can take those values of live, grow, show, like we talk about, and bring them over into the other places with laser engraving and all the other things within the maker space as we go. So come and be a part of the community, guys. Whatever community it is, I'd love you to be in mine. But if you're somewhere else, please be somewhere else and find those people, find your people, and it's really, really hard to explain. But I just wanted to take a minute there to just talk about that. And then we're going to get back over here. We are talking to our new friend, Gabe. His name is not Vito. It is Gabe. Talk to us about Vito. Who is Vito?
Vito is my little Frenchie. Actually, I got his picture right behind me, I think, somewhere, right somewhere. But he's my little Frenchie I've had for 6-7 years, and he's great. But when COVID happened, my mother, she's in her 80s, she really couldn't go anywhere. But at the time during COVID, it was crazy busy at my shop, right? Because the safest place to be is on your boat. So everybody wanted their props fixed. So I took Vito and I said, "Hey, Ma, can you watch Vito for a little while? Because I'm going to be at work like crazy." Well, yeah, Vito never came home.
Oh, no.
She's like, "No, let him stay here for another day or two. Let him stay here another day." So, yeah, he's my Frenchie, and he's great. He's a great dude. And he's actually my propeller mascot. Like, if you go to my Precision Propeller page, you see a lot of pictures of Vito. But he's just my Frenchie dog, and he's great. But he's with my mother now. Yeah, they're just like that now. Now when he comes to I get the vet bills, and maybe the occasional visit.
There you go. You still have to pay for him, just not hanging out with you, right? Not hanging out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny. We got people in here. Awesome stories. Gabe, good to see you. We got Carrie in here. Got a lot of people who you probably know. TK Olson.
Oh, that's Ken's wife, I believe.
Tanya.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
And even Brendan down. He's Get to Printing. If he only knew, like I did that Donate a Dragon thing, and the gentleman from 550 Designs, like if they only knew like the impact they made on those kids at that children's hospital. Because here's me, just me. I'm a new guy, and I'm just saying, hey, can you guys send me a couple dragons? Because I want to do. They don't know me from Adam.
Yeah.
But some of these guys, Hayden, 550 Designs, they sent these giant dragons, or they sent whatever they could. Actually, there was a couple people that just sent, one or two, send whatever you could. And I was humbled by the whole thing. And Stephen Wolf, the man himself,
right?
He sent me a box, and there had to have been, I don't know, there had to have been 150, 175, I'd say 200 dragons in there.
Right.
That's awesome. That's huge. And I mean, what he did, what Ken did, what all these folks did was tremendous. And I also brought down that whole teddy bear crawl, 300 teddy bears for this children's hospital. Those people were floored. But here's me in the 3D community. Like, nobody really knew me. I had like 100, nobody. But the fact that some of these folks did that was, and that's why Hayden, right?
Yep.
I have plenty of machines. I buy from him. Okay. I go on people's live, and I just buy stuff from them. The ones that I just buy them, and I do like a review to kind of promote them.
Cool.
Just to the couple people. I mean, Stephanie was great for sending me that giant dinosaur, but Brendan, I buy stuff from Brendan. He makes me these cool Ken just, I can't say enough for Ken. Like, he'll do anything. He's fantastic. And he and I are doing great stuff, but, and then Carrie, I met Carrie through, I don't know, just kind of in the realms. And Stephanie, it's great. It's fantastic. And I'm happy I love doing that. I love just kind of, giving back and helping. And, I've helped out a lot of people on here, and it's just, it's very rewarding, because I think the 3D community has certain areas that it's just like a lot of people just trying to make it.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make it. They're doing it to make a couple bucks just to make it. This one gentleman, he's selling crosses. He's from the Midwest somewhere. He's just trying to sell some crosses. And, I'm not a religious guy, but, I said, I'll buy. He asked me if he could send me some so I can kind of promote it.
Yeah.
He saw it. And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to take him for free. And I sent him $50, and, he was so grateful.
Yeah.
So grateful.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that happens in the 3D printing community. It's really unique in how it does. Like you say, the dragons, we've got 3D print cares. I don't know if you know about the toddler mobile trainer that's going on right now from Make Good, where we're 3D printing children's wheelchairs.
Right. I didn't know what it was called, but I saw it.
So many things like that. And I think the charity of it, even people who, like you say, are just trying to make a few bucks, even those people join in and help out when there's someone in need, when there's things that need to be taken care of. It's pretty neat. It is
like, when they, I remember some of the things that they say, if it's for the kids, yeah, I'm in. So it's like, as soon as they talk about donating or helping kids, no matter what it is, they just like, they just drop everything and do it. And it was fantastic.
Right.
And it was because I'm new to the whole community, especially back then. But just for that whole thing to go out with this, and that's why I love, I do what I can, and I'm not even, it's great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of people have big hearts out there.
Well, let's re-aim the story a little bit, and let's look at a couple of things, because I think you are in an interesting time in your life where you have so much that you can give back. You've been through some times that were challenging. You've come to a hobby that was hard at first, but now you've kind of doubled down, and it's become a way that you can reach out, you can touch people, you can make friends. There's so many things that happen there. But let's go back and look at kind of like junior high, high school. What does Gabe look like? What are hobbies? What are the things that you're doing as a child? Were you a school nerd?
If we're talking about, I want to tell you, I was literally the most average person you can imagine. I was the shortest person on my football team. I really had no real, there's really no reason I should have been on there. I don't know. It was just I come from a very, very poor family. My father I'm first generation. My dad was born in Italy. My mother was born in Argentina. We're so broke. It was crazy. We all there's 3 families that lived in one house for a long time. And so I'm going to say I was probably the most average person out, I just made it through. I barely graduated high school, and, that whole thing. And, so I was, I like to ride dirt bikes. That was probably not the extent of things, but, I grew up on I grew up when you had on a development where, my mother would stand out in the back porch and yell for me because I was on my friend's house, or, the next street over.
Yeah.
There was kind of that kind of stuff. And,
Gotcha.
But the most uneventful growing up possible.
Well, now football and motorbikes. Now, are we talking motorbikes or dirt bikes?
At the time, it was dirt bikes. Okay. Now I'm a Harley guy all the way.
Harley guy all the way. You like to be as loud and proud as possible, huh?
There's nothing better than just on that. It's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I have some friends like that. I do that love their Harleys, and that's awesome. So football. Did you play a lot in football? Were you a sideline guy? What kind of stuff?
So my high school was like, I think it had like I don't know, 80 people graduating class. Okay. It was super small. And, if you went out you're on the football team, it's because they needed people, bodies on the sideline. So did I play? Yeah, I was like this big. I weighed 100 and nothing. And I remember getting just completely run over by these guys. These guys were these guys look like, 18 wheelers coming at me and just literally running me over.
Right.
It was great, but it really wasn't for me. I don't know. I just kind of did it because it was I thought I need to do something. Okay. And I was never really a very athletic person. And the ironic part is I own an obstacle course now, but I was never athletic or anything. Right. I've done triathlons, and, I don't even know how to swim, but, you kind of figure it out.
Right.
And,
yeah, you figure it out one way or another. You do. Yeah. And so in school, so you were playing for school. Did you do stuff outside of school? Did you just kind of hang at your house? Did you go out and have friends? What did the neighborhood look like in that?
It was really that, like, it was a big development, and, we just kind of all hung out after school, and it was really like 4-wheelers and dirt bikes.
Okay.
Like, and then when it snowed, it was really, snowmobiles and just that stuff. But that was really the most of it. And, football when you had practice, stuff like that. But other than that, it was on weekends. It was always hanging out with, there was like 8 of us that lived on a big, development, and we just all kind of would just hang out at my one friend's house all the time.
Right.
Because that was the community spot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so there weren't like Ataris or any, game systems involved or anything. Y'all were more outside kids?
Definitely outside. Okay. And definitely outside. And I did, and my dad was such a hard worker too. Like, that development, the house that we lived in was, fairly new house over there. And, I love my dad. My dad died way, way too young. He died like what seems like 3 lifetimes ago. And it's so sad because he never got to see, he passed away when he's 58, and I'm going to be 55 soon. So it seems like 5 lifetimes ago. But the stuff that he taught me when I was growing up was crazy. Like, because I said my dad was he's come right over from Italy during the war, and I remember going, and we were building a little deck, and we dug the hole with a hammer and a screwdriver.
Huh.
That's how we dug the holes, and it was time to mix the cement. It's just like mixing the cement with your hands, and wheelbarrow and all that stuff. And I mean, I used to mow we were so poor at the time, like we didn't have a lawnmower. I used to go out there with the old-fashioned sickle, and that's how I'd mow the lawn. So we did that for a while, but that was the greatest. Stuff like that is, I don't know why people, it's crazy. Like, I don't know why people want to make it they don't want their kids to have it as bad as we did. But I think that's exactly why we are the way we are. We're like, we're hard workers. We're, they just want it easier. Like, they want to get a guy to snow plow the driveway. Like, why? It's like, we used to go out there with a shovel and at least get a snowblower to do it. But I grew up very lucky, where my dad, although he passed away way too early, but he was a great dude, and he was just like such a hard worker. And I was I got, that was such an impression on me. It's like and that's really what's made me successful over, because me and my brother were, we're all, my sisters, we're all hard workers, and it's it's really that. And I don't have kids, unfortunately, but boy, I tell you, I'd love to have kids. And but I would never take that away from them. I put them to work right away.
No, I get that. So just to stop ourselves from becoming the, back in my day, guys, I was actually having that conversation with somebody this morning, but no, and I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. But on your dad, and it sounds like he had a profound effect on you. Mm-hmm. Is there like one memory you have that really just kind of solidified who you are from your dad?
Just one. I'd say. So here's the problem is like my dad died. He passed away so long ago that I still will get emotional over it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make you do that. I just
no, and really I'm okay with it. Is it was like I'd say not too long before he passed away, he was making an arbor for my mother, for like a garden, and at the time I had moved out of my house, and I stayed home till I was 30. And it was only because I had such a, I love my mother too.
Yeah.
But I had such a great relationship with my mother, my dad. Like, but I worked and I contributed to the house. I wasn't like it was just my dad always put in, save your money. You don't need to get an apartment. Save your money, buy a house. Right. And so that's what I did. I was kind of sad when I left. I was engaged to get married, and me and my girlfriend we bought a house together, and I was kind of like sad to leave my mother's house, my dad. And I remember not that long before he passed away, he was building an arbor. I was so happy to go see my dad after work all the time on my way home. And one day I stopped, and he was at the bottom of the driveway, and he was like staining the trellis. And I remember just walking down there, and I call him Papa, because Italian is my Papa. And it's like it was my early 30s, but I think that's when I picked up a brush and started helping him paint. And we really we didn't really talk. We just kind of painted and just kind of sat there with, just the two of us, and just that. And there was nothing, we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But it was almost like, it's almost like he's, like, like he was like, like he saw me, and it's just like, he was just like, yeah, you know, not that not, he's just, just like how a dad wants to see his son,
Right. And it's that unspoken thing. There's a time when you, and it's not that you ever feel equal to your father, but your father doesn't have to say anything, but you can know he sees you as somebody besides his son. Right.
Yeah.
And,
and I would say, if you were to ask me for a moment, it was that. And it's, and how ironic, or whatever the word you want to describe it. And, probably not that long after that day, he passed away, and it was,
yeah,
but
yeah, no, I get that. And we'll move on from that. I would, I wouldn't try to go that deep, but that's a great story. I love those stories. And I think to me, that speaks so much. We always try to find our support systems, right? And it sounds like you have a family that has been a good support system for you, a family that's gonna be there, and they're from the old country, right? Now, Argentina, an Italian and an Argentinian, that's a combination right there. Now,
yeah, definitely.
Now tell me a little bit about her. She, like, she from one of the big cities? Was she from kind of, what was her attitude? Yeah, what was her attitude as far as coming to America, and what was she like?
So my mother and my father, they met at English school in the Bronx.
That's great.
And so my dad got shipped. My dad got sent over by his dad because of the Germans and the whole world, right? And my dad was blonde haired, blue eye, and I think that's where I get my eyes from. So they kind of got him out like soon, and my mother, from their Argentine, this was the land of opportunity.
Yeah,
that's when people said, go to America, it's the land of opportunity. And that's exactly why they came here. And my mother is actually one of five, and so one by one they came over. My aunt came first because she wanted to be an actress, because she saw, she sees what goes on in America, right?
Yeah.
So she came over first, and then my mother and the rest of the family came over. But I had visited Argentina several times, and I went to visit where my mother grew up, and it's amazing. They grew up we went to her original house, and it, probably no bigger than this room right here, 400 square feet or whatever, and where they all lived in one room.
Okay.
And outside was a big cement tub, and that's where they bathed out there. They were all poor.
Yeah.
And it was humbling, and to look and see. And my dad grew up as equally as like that in Italy. I never saw where he grew up, but I saw where my mother was. And in Argentina, where they lived, was a fishing community.
Okay.
And my grandfather worked when the boats came in, with the fish and the whole fish market over there, and that's how they grew up. But America was the land of opportunity back then. That's what all they preached, and that's how they came over here. And that my mother and my dad met in English school in the Bronx, and the rest. And then we all lived in that one big house for a long time with my family, my cousin's family, my grandmother, my grandfather upstairs.
Right.
So we had that whole thing going on, right? And my mother's great. My mother's still alive. She's 84, I believe.
Wow.
She still drives, and she gets around. And I got to tell you, it's because of Vito. My mother takes Vito out for a walk every day, or Vito makes my mother take her out for a walk. And probably the best thing for, older folks is to get that 15, 20 minutes of walk. And I'll tell you, my mother, she's cooking around, and she's great. She's great. Yeah. She still has my dad's clothes in the closet too. That's, that old school mentality.
Yep.
So, but yeah, my mother was, I grew up great. It was fantastic. I'm glad my mother's still alive, and she comes to my shop all the time. She brings me food, and she still makes me sandwiches, and at 54, she's still
okay. That's cool. Now, where like was she from? Like like south like Santa Cruz area? Or was she more up towards Buenos Aires? She was coastal. She was East Coast apparently. If there was a fishing town.
Yeah. So you're familiar with Argentina?
A little bit. I visited. I spent some time in Cordoba.
Oh, those are great places.
It really is.
But she was the town that she was born in is called so it's Bahia Blanca.
Okay.
But the port was called White Day, which is spelled white, but it's White Day, and it's the fishing community right down in that area.
Okay. I have to look that one up. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's if you look where Bahia Blanca is, then you kind of just go a little bit around that outside edge, you'll see it. And then there's a place called Sierra de Ventana, that's a outskirting town as well. That's all that area. And I've been down there a few times when I was younger, and it's it's the third world country. It's well, maybe not so much now, but it was definitely is unbelievable.
Yeah. Visiting those places are always unique. I've enjoyed every trip I've been able to take like that, and you just get a totally different idea of the way you live. When you get to go visit.
But people say, would you go back? And I'd say never. I would never go back because I never want to. I remember it like that.
Right.
I want to go back, and it's no. There's nobody that lives there anymore that's a family of mine. So if I were to go, it'd be on my own before my parts of my family lived there.
Right.
But I never ever want to change that view that I have of the great times that I had when I was down there. And so I'm just going to keep it right there. Yeah,
no, I can totally understand that. Totally understand that. Well, guys, we are talking to our friend, our brand new friend, Gabe. I actually met him a little about an hour before the show. Was introduced to him by Steffi Makes 3D. Y'all see his name right there. I'll put that up one more time so you can find his channel over on TikTok. Gabe and Vito is what you're looking for. Get over there, watch his videos. If you enjoy what he's doing, follow him and be a part of his community over there. We got a little bit more time before we end the show, so this is the last time for you to get your questions in the room. So let's see. I've got some questions coming up in a couple of other places, but while we're waiting for those questions to come up, I want to kind of move into the social media aspect, where we really talk about as social media goes, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Whether it's your 3D printing channel or your business channel or whatever other channels that you have.
So I have three channels. One is my business channel, which is where I fix boat propellers, and I have that one, and I have my obstacle course channel, and I have my Gabe and Vito, which is my 3D channel. And I'd say my propeller channel is pretty, it has a lot of viewers. It's that niche person. It's very welding.
What's really the name of the channel?
It's Precision Propeller.
Precision Propeller. I'm going to try to find it and I'll share it with y'all, but keep going, keep talking.
So that one just blows up. Every time I put a video on there, it just kind of blows up. So I just kind of, and from that, it's great because people send me propellers from all over the country. It really is worth the reach. Okay. And what I do with that is I just keep my name out there, and people always love to see a damaged propeller come to life, and they love it. So that's pretty self-managing. And my obstacle course, I do a lot of stuff for kids. I try to post on there, but as you guys know, it takes a lot of work just to edit one video just to put on there. Yeah. So between that, and then my TikToks over here for the 3D stuff, which I probably enjoy the most because there's a lot more interaction. Is I don't really know I don't know, because when we started talking, I was talking to Brennan about this. My algorithm is so here and there. At one time I'm talking about my dog Vito, and then another time I'm showing Steffi's giant dinosaur or Brendan's dinosaur or something that me and Ken made. 3D print. And the next thing you know, I'm talking about how I don't have a date for Valentine's Day because I'm single. It's like, and the algorithm is like, okay, so what are we doing here? So I may have a great video that like Stephanie's that gets 100 views. And so
right.
I don't know.
So is this your channel right here?
Yeah, that's my propeller one. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. I got a couple of them that did home runs.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. And my obstacle one is Obstacle Wonderland. That I just that's it's just a lot. It's a lot to do all that stuff, and just it's super time consuming. But if you were to ask me, the 3D, I don't know, the 3D one, me and Vito, that one, I gotta say it's more therapeutic for me than anything, because I talk about whether I talk about if you look, it's just that it's that timeline where you could see that in the beginning when I started, it was me doing exactly that, and making stuff for my ex-girlfriend, and then the slow progress of all of a sudden I made something, and now I'm talking about Ken, who helped me make my little prop guy,
right?
Which is probably the most unique thing, because there's not one of them out there. He helped me make it. And that's, I think, my claim to fame, is saying I'm like kind of a creator, since I have something that's so unique out there. That's not, and Ken helped me. He's fantastic with it. And then just that whole, then to donate the dragon thing, where, we did that was a big thing. And, then I don't know, it's just that, I just talk about so many different things. I know, I think for that, I really would like to, I don't know.
So this is more kind of the life of Gabe, basically. You're just showing the things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. And I think now that people kind of have started to get to like understand and know me, like, it's kind of okay. Like, I don't have anything I'm not trying to impress anybody with a 3D print.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, but then I'll show somebody how to flush something, and all of a sudden everybody's like crazy. I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't, I'm just trying to help you. But then again, it's like, I don't know. I don't need to, I'm happy to I buy from other guys.
Right.
And I show it. It's like, yeah, I'd rather buy from you guys, because, I have machines, but, I don't know. Sometimes you guys make it better than me anyway.
All right, a few more questions, guys. We're going to get some things in. So, the first question is, like, when you're ready to 3D print, what's your favorite printer? Like, you go, that's the one I want to print on. Do you have one that you see like your go-to every time?
I think I only have one left of the mini, but they're all P1Ss, except for my H2S.
Okay,
that's just for the bigger ones. But so I'm going to tell you, it's the craziest thing. I told you I got pulled into that machine, right? And it just destroyed my arm.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it's the weirdest thing. So on the A1s and the A1 minis, the way it's got that, the way the filament is on that side roller thing.
Yeah.
Like my thumb and my fingers don't pinch. So like when I try to load filament, like this and like this, it don't work. And like, there's times I've knocked over the whole roll thing. It sounds crazy, but you need two hands to do that. You got to kind of push and that.
Yeah.
And so when I got my first P1S, I realized that I could just take the filament, and if I just push on its own, it'll kind of go in.
Yeah.
And now I can do it. It's like, now I could do it like one hand, no problem. Awesome. I can push down the thing and do it. So, I know it. So I kind of switched all of my machines to the P1S.
That makes sense.
Just stick it right inside there.
Yeah. What's your favorite print you've ever done? Do you have a favorite print?
My favorite, I got to tell you, I think my favorite one is it's actually a Hue Forge.
Okay.
And it's actually on my over there, and and it's actually I forgot what the name is, but it's a dragon with a woman. Like, there's a guy that makes these really unbelievable dragons and women look, and it was just like that one. And somebody made a Red Riding Hood one, and I think those Hue Forges are just I mean, they really capture something with that whole black and white. So I'm going to say if there's anything that I like the most is those. But I also will say is the guy from Flexi Factory, the Flexi Factory, that guy must be a genius. And not to, and because I made one of his pharaohs that the big the pharaoh guy, Anubis. It's called an Anubis, right? And it's just amazing how those things can just literally you can take them off and they stand right up.
Right.
And it's like amazing. And I will say that Stephen Wolf's, all of his models, I mean, what can you can't say, like a Captain America dragon. I only have, remember I told you I kind of got rid of a lot of stuff, that whole relationship thing.
Yeah.
So when I got rid of everything, I said, I'm only going to keep a few things that I would actually buy if I was out in the street. And one is his Captain America dragon that my friend Ken made on his Cobra, that, you know, he made one that's like this big. So I have that, and I have the Anubis that I made from Flexi Factory, and the last one is a giant dragon that I forgot. I'm sorry, I lost from 550 Design. 550. Okay. Yeah, and I know him. He's a really good dude. We talk all the time. He made me a dragon, you know, a full size dragon that I have right over there. So I think those are my three. You can kind of see them in the background right over there. Well, and those are probably my favorites. Yeah,
I'll make you big. See if we can see.
Yeah, right up in that top, right over in that shelf over there.
Okay.
But he's like he's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have a favorite filament?
I got to tell you that the zero one, Zyro. Right? That Zyro. Yeah. And that's like, if you want to avoid that whole 12-hour nightmare of filament changes all the time, you get some really cool stuff out of that. Okay. And I got to tell you, Brendan from Get to Print, he's made me a couple of those Imperial dragons with that filament, and they come out like, I mean, it's just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
I love that Imperial dragon. That's a good model. Yeah. That's a good model.
And Ken does those crazy ones on that Cobra, like all different color gradients and stuff, like they said. So I would say the Zero is great. I'm hoping they see this, so maybe they send me some.
Maybe. Hey, you never know. You never know. It can happen. It can happen. All right. So hot take. This is the last question of the night, guys. Hot take. You ready? What is the best pizza in New York?
It's called, and I was there.
Okay.
It's by the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think. Pizza by the Brooklyn Bridge.
Wait, do you know?
So if it's, I love New York. I'm trying to think. So that's Brooklyn Bridge lines up. Doesn't that line up a 24th? Isn't it down in that area? Or is it up? I can't remember.
All I know is if you go to by the Brooklyn Bridge, there's probably like 4 pizzerias right over there.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, every single one of them will change your life, because I remember. You remember that?
Papaya Dog always gets me when I'm walking through there. So I don't know why the Papaya Dog place always gets me. I'm like, Papaya Dog. So
you know what's funny is so me and my ex-girlfriend, we went down. You know that Dave, that guy who does the pizza challenge. You know,
that's the one I was thinking. Grimaldi's. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Grimaldi.
We're good.
So that guy does that pizza challenge. He rates the pizza.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so me and my girlfriend at the time, we said, we wanted to do something. I said, let's go down there and we'll eat some. We'll do a little rating thing. So we went down there and we did our own thing. And I'm going to tell you, we were not expecting to eat that pizza and to come out. I mean, it was just like, what?
Yeah.
Now when I eat pizza, it's like, it was incredible. But we had a great time doing it. And I think anybody it goes over by the Brooklyn Bridge or in New York, right there, you can't miss it. And the line to get a slice of pizza is unbelievable in these places. But it's totally it's totally worth the wait. So if I were to tell you, it's those places right by the Brooklyn Bridge, 100%.
Okay.
No, New Haven, no, not at all.
Not at all.
Purple Night, New Haven, no. I'm going to say no because I went there. That there's that one famous one over in New Haven.
Right. I don't remember the name. I was looking at the ones near the Brooklyn Bridge, like Giuliana's. We got Ignazio's. I've been to Ignazio's.
Ignazio's is good.
I've been to Grimaldi's. So that's cool.
Yeah,
and then somebody was asking Chicago. So you know Chicago pizza?
Only at Uno's.
Only at Uno's? Okay.
Does that count?
That's about, I'm more of a Chicago dog guy versus a Chicago pizza guy. I'm probably more of the New York, pizza guy. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for being here. And man,
Frank Pepe.
Oh, is that the one? Okay.
Well, that's in Danbury, but yeah, he's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
7 out of 10.
That's great. 7 out of 10. We're rating it now. We're gonna start the Vito pizza rating here. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, man, final words. You as a kind of a new printer to the 3D printing space here, especially on TikTok, like what would you say to the 3D printing community that's sitting in this room right now?
I would say I don't think I've ever met a community like this. There's so many different personalities, different walks of life, but they all seem to gel together because there's something about those machines and what they actually make. I don't think it's as much as what it makes, but what those machines do for people here, and whether it's here for money or here for whatever. But I don't know. I think there's something about those machines, and I would say it impacts these people that just kind of bring them all together. It's amazing. And coming from somebody who is not, I come from a different place and I'm just kind of here. I'm not embedded into it as much as say Stephanie, who makes her living on it and stuff. But just look from the outside looking in, I just say it's just incredible. Anybody's willing to do anything for you. It's amazing. So if I were to say anything, it's a community that's built, it's put together by this magnet of a machine that kind of pulls and keeps everybody together. Look at me and Ken. He lives in Seattle or Washington. I live in New York, and me and him are like this. We've never met. It's going to be like that movie where we go on the Empire State Building. We meet, and we kiss one day.
You're going to have a teddy bear with you?
Yeah, and a dragon too.
Yeah, a dragon.
But yeah, it's an amazing. And look at you, like we and I just met, and I bet we just met, and you've been so great and to me, and I don't think there's a single person who's ever on this, even when I was younger. Sorry, Oregon. When I was first here, that ever kind of like was rude or made me feel like like that. Right. Everybody's always willing to help, and I'm glad, and it's a great community. That's and awesome. I'm hoping that I can help people too, as Ken helped me, and as Hayden helped me, as Brendan helped me.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very contagious feeling.
Yeah. That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Last minute decided to do it this morning, and I really do appreciate it, man.
Oh, it was my pleasure, and I appreciate you and your groups out there, and thanks to all my friends for jumping in. I see you guys come in, but really thank you, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Well, everybody, wave bye. I'm going to drop you back to the green room. I'll be in there in just a second to talk with you before we say bye. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. This has been a great one. I really enjoyed meeting him, enjoyed talking with him a good bit. I think we're probably going to have a lot more conversations. Couple of things I want to make you aware of, things that are going on, guys. We have some awesome classes going on in the Discord this month. So let's start with next week. We have debate night. Try not to break anything's coming back. He's finally freed up, got some time to come back and help us with that. So I'm excited about debate night. Then coming up on February 20th, we have turn an image into a light box. Steffi is going to be teaching that. We are going to be talking with Mrs. Grinch next Thursday. We're going to have a great conversation with her, and she's only been 3D printing 6 months, so that should be a lot of fun, just kind of digging in to see where she is mentally, because you know those first 6 months can be tough. We got OBS classes, we got Piper Jack coming up, we got AI classes happening in the Discord. So guys, jump in and come be a part of the community. This is an amazing community. You'll get to my Discord, you'll find many other Discords, other TikTok places, but just come in and be a part. You can see how awesome and it's fun. Sometimes we got a little drama, but we enjoy helping each other and growing together. So remember, guys, always live life to the fullest, grow in wisdom, and show what you have learned generously. Talk with y'all later.